She called me too sensitive when I asked why she still followed her ex, said it was for the memories. The next day, she reposted his birthday photo, captioned, "Some people never get replaced." I didn't say a word, just grabbed my keys and left. 3 weeks later, she was at my door screaming my name, begging me to undo what I did. I've been sitting on this story for a while, wondering if I should share it. But after a few beers and some encouragement from my brother, here goes nothing. About 6 months ago, my relationship with Grace, 27F, ended in a way that I, 29M, never expected. We'd been together for a year and a half, met through mutual friends at a music festival, hit it off immediately. She was smart, ambitious, worked as a graphic designer at a decent agency downtown. I run my own small construction business. Different worlds, but we clicked. Or so I thought. Looking back, there were red flags from the beginning. She kept pictures of her ex Tyler all over her Instagram, never deleted their vacation photos, still had him as a highlight on her profile, labeled best memories. But like an idiot, I ignored it all because when we were together, she seemed present, seemed happy. About 2 months before the end, I finally decided to bring it up. We were on her couch, scrolling through our phones after dinner, when I noticed she had liked and commented on Tyler's latest gym selfie. A simple, looking good, with a fire emoji. Not overtly flirty, but not exactly what you want to see your girlfriend posting on her ex's shirtless photo. "Do you still talk to Tyler often?" I asked, trying to sound casual. She shrugged, not even looking up from her phone. "Sometimes. We're still friends." "Doesn't that seem a little weird? You guys were together for 3 years. That's when she looked at me with this expression I'll never forget. Part annoyance, part pity. "Don't be so sensitive, Mark. It's just Instagram. We have history, so I follow him. It's for the memories." I dropped it that night. Told myself I was being insecure. But the seed was planted, and I started noticing more and more. The way she'd smile at her phone at random times. How she'd turn her screen away when I walked into the room. Small lies about who she was texting. Then came the breaking point. It was Tyler's birthday. I didn't even know this until I opened Instagram that morning and saw that Grace had reposted one of their old photos. Them on a beach somewhere, sunset, his arms around her. The caption knocked the wind out of me. "Happy birthday to this one. Some people never get replaced." I stared at that post for a good 5 minutes. Reread those words over and over. Never get replaced. Where did that leave me? She was in the shower when I saw it. I didn't slam doors, didn't throw things, didn't leave an angry note. Just grabbed my keys, wallet, and walked out. Turned my phone off and drove to my buddy James' cabin by the lake. Needed space to think. When I turned my phone back on the next day, I had 37 missed calls and a flood of texts ranging from confused to angry to apologetic. "Where are you? Why did you just leave without saying anything? Are you seriously this upset over a birthday post? Please call me. I'm worried." "Fine, be childish. I'm sorry if the post upset you, but you're overreacting." I didn't respond to any of them. Instead, I called her friend Rachel. Rachel and I had always gotten along well, and I knew she was one of the few people Grace confided in completely. I asked her to meet me for coffee, said it was important. Rachel looked uncomfortable from the moment she sat down across from me at the cafe. "Is this about the post?" she asked before I could even speak. I nodded. "Among other things." "I need to know something, Rachel, and I need you to be honest with me. Was I ever anything more than a rebound to her?" Rachel's eyes widened slightly. She fidgeted with her coffee cup, clearly weighing her options. "It's not that simple, Mark." "I think it is. Please, just tell me the truth." She sighed deeply. "Look, when Grace and Tyler broke up, she was destroyed, like completely wrecked. She was in therapy for over a year, could barely function. We were all shocked when she started dating you so quickly after." "How quickly?" I asked, feeling a cold weight settling in my stomach. 2 months. She told everyone they'd been broken up for 8, but it was only 2. The cold weight turned to ice. "Tell me about their breakup." Rachel hesitated again, then seemed to make a decision. "It was brutal. They were at Rialto's, that Italian place downtown. It was their anniversary. But Tyler had found out she'd been texting her gym trainer, getting pretty flirty. Nothing physical happened, but the intent was there, I nodded, encouraging her to continue. So Tyler waited until they were having dessert, surrounded by all their friends. He'd invited everyone to celebrate, and then he just laid it all out, read the texts out loud, showed everyone photos of her and the trainer together. Then he stood up, told her she'd never change, and walked out. Left her with the bill and the humiliation. It was public, really public. I sat back processing this, and after a year of therapy, she jumped into a relationship with me. Rachel looked genuinely sorry. Mark? I did try to warn her it was too soon, but she insisted you were different, special. Special enough to be a placeholder, apparently. Rachel bit her lip, hesitating. Then, look, there's something else you should know. Grace still has a shared photo album with Tyler in her cloud storage. She doesn't know, I know about it, but she accidentally showed it to me once when she was looking for something else on her phone. She's been adding photos to it the whole time you've been together, like documenting things for him to see. That hit me like a punch to the gut. Are they? From what I understand, he started showing interest again. They've been texting more frequently in the last month. While she's with me. I'm sorry, Mark. I should have told you sooner, but she's my friend and I thought maybe that she'd choose me eventually? Rachel couldn't meet my eyes. That was answer enough. As I drove home, a plan started forming in my mind. Petty? Absolutely. Immature? Probably. But there's only so much disrespect a man can take before he needs to make a statement. I didn't confront Grace immediately. Instead, I texted her that I needed space to think, that I'd be back in touch when I was ready. She seemed relieved, probably thought she'd dodged a bullet. Meanwhile, I got to work. First, I called Rialto's and made a reservation for 2 weeks out, the exact table where Tyler had humiliated her. Then I reached out to our mutual friends, one by one. Told them I was planning a surprise for Grace, asked if they could join us for dinner. Most of them agreed immediately, excited to be part of whatever I was planning. Little did they know. For those 2 weeks, I played the role of the understanding boyfriend. Told Grace I was sorry for overreacting, that I understood her history with Tyler was important to her. She seemed almost disappointed at how easily I let it go, like she'd been expecting, maybe hoping for, more drama. The night of our dinner at Rialto's, everything was set. Our friends were already there when we arrived, just as they had been for her anniversary with Tyler. She seemed genuinely surprised and pleased, thinking this was my way of making things up to her. We ordered drinks, appetizers, main courses. Conversation flowed. I was the perfect host, making sure everyone's glasses stayed full. Grace kept shooting me these confused but happy looks, clearly trying to figure out what the occasion was. Then came dessert, just like in the story Rachel had told me. I stood up, tapping my glass gently with a spoon. The table quieted, everyone looking expectantly at me. Grace was practically glowing, probably thinking this was leading to a proposal or some grand romantic gesture. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight, I started, my voice steady. It means a lot to have you all here to witness this moment. Grace's smile widened. As most of you know, Grace and I have been together for about 1.5 years now. What most of you don't know is that this relationship was built on a lie. Her smile froze, then slowly faded. She knew. I could see it in her eyes. She knew exactly what was happening. Grace started dating me 2 months after Tyler broke up with her right here, at this very table. She was still in therapy, still devastated, still in love with him. I was never anything more than a band-aid for her wounded ego. The table had gone deathly silent. Some of our friends were staring at their plates. Others couldn't look away from the car crash unfolding before them. But don't take my word for it, I continued, pulling out my phone. Let's look at the evidence. I had screenshots of her Instagram activity, all public posts showing her constant engagement with Tyler's content, saved stories where she'd mentioned him, and of course, the birthday post that started it all. Nothing invasive or illegal, just the public breadcrumbs of her ongoing obsession that anyone could see. Some people never get replaced, I read aloud, my voice echoing in the now silent section of the restaurant. Well, Grace, you're right about that. I was never a replacement for Tyler. I was just a distraction, a placeholder, a warm body to keep you company while you waited for him to take you back. Grace's face had gone from shocked to humiliated to angry. Mark, stop this right now, she hissed. No, I don't think I will. because there's one last thing that needs to be said. I locked eyes with her. You'll never change, will you, Grace? The exact words Tyler had said to her, in the exact same place, with the exact same audience. I put money on the table for my portion of the bill, nodded to our stunned friends, and walked out. Behind me, I could hear the beginnings of chaos. Grace's voice rising, friends trying to calm her down, the manager approaching to ask them to keep it down. But I didn't look back, just like Tyler hadn't. The aftermath was both exactly what I expected and surprising in its intensity. Mutual friends called and texted, some angry at me for the public humiliation, others quietly supportive once they understood the full story. Grace alternated between rage-filled messages and tearful voicemails. I blocked her number after the first day, changed my locks even though she'd never had a key, told my employees to turn her away if she showed up at my worksite. For 3 weeks, I heard nothing directly from her. Then, on a rainy Tuesday night, it happened, pounding on my door, screaming my name, sobbing. I looked through the peephole to see Grace, drenched from the rain, mascara running down her face, looking exactly like the devastated woman she must have been after Tyler left. Mark, please, open the door. You have to fix this. I didn't move, didn't speak. He won't talk to me anymore. Tyler saw what happened. Everyone's talking about it. You ruined everything. So that was it. Not only had I humiliated her exactly as she'd been humiliated before, but the story had apparently made its way back to Tyler, closing that door permanently. Mark, please. Her voice broke, quieter now. I know you're in there. I can see your shadow under the door. Please. You don't understand what you've done to me. I can't go through this again. I can't. For a brief moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. I loved you, she said, barely audible now. Maybe not the way you deserved, but I did love you. Too little, too late. Eventually, she left. I learned later from Rachel that she'd moved back in with her parents in another state, deleted all her social media accounts, started therapy again. Sometimes I wonder if I went too far, if the punishment fit the crime. Using someone's deepest trauma against them isn't something I ever thought I was capable of. But when someone treats you like you're disposable, like you're just a checkpoint on their journey back to someone else, something breaks inside you. I'm dating again now, taking it slow, being more careful about the red flags I choose to ignore. And I've learned something important. Respect isn't optional in a relationship. It's the foundation everything else is built on. Without it, you're just two people passing time until the inevitable implosion. Update: this post blew up way more than I expected. Thanks for all the comments, both supportive and critical. To address some common questions. Yes, Rachel and I are still friends. Some people questioned why she would betray Grace's confidence so easily. The truth is, Rachel had warned Grace multiple times about using me as a rebound. When it became clear Grace was potentially rekindling things with Tyler while still with me, Rachel felt I deserved to know the truth. No, I haven't heard from Grace since that night at my door. According to mutual friends, she's doing better now, still in therapy, and finally processing her breakup with Tyler properly. And to the people asking if I think I went too far, honestly, I'm still not sure. In my darkest moments, I think she deserved exactly what she got. An eye for an eye. But in more reflective moments, I recognize that using someone's trauma against them crosses a line, even if they hurt you first. What I do know is that I'm satisfied with how things turned out. Not because she's suffering, but because I finally stood up for myself, instead of being someone's second choice. That part I'll never regret. Life's too short to be anyone's placeholder.